Barack Obama had a plan. Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid had a plan. And the plan was they were going to come to Washington, D.C. and spend trillions of dollars and run up debt, and then they would turn to the Republicans in Congress and say, you know, it's really time for you to be bipartisan. It's really time for you to compromise and raise taxes to pay for all the spending that we did. And if you raise taxes to pay for all of our spending, then we can keep spending. And they were pretty sure that this would work because, as Jack Kemp had told them, the Republicans were going to be the tax collectors for the welfare state. But in 2011, when they'd run up this huge debt, the Democrats, John Boehner and Mitch McConnell, looked at Obama and said, no, we're not raising taxes. We're going to start cutting spending. And this made the left a little cranky, and the New York Times got irritated. And they couldn't quite figure out what had happened, but over the last 25 years, the modern Republican Party, the Reagan Republican Party, had made itself, branded itself correctly, the party that would not raise your taxes. The Taxpayer Protection Pledge that Americans for Tax Reform shares with all candidates. For the last 25 years, we now have 236 Republicans in the U.S. House. A majority of the Republicans in the House have signed a pledge to the American people that they will oppose and vote against any effort to raise taxes. Tax reform, yes. Tax increases, no. That's not bad work. In the U.S. Senate, 41 senators signed the same pledge to the people of their state. We're not raising taxes. When we see a problem, we'll reform government, we'll limit spending, we're not raising taxes. 1,300 state legislators made that commitment in writing to their voters. We will not raise your taxes. 13 governors, a number of them have spoken today, and that's why they're reformers rather than tax increasers, because tax increases are what politicians do instead of governing. They can't make decisions, they don't want to prioritize, they don't want to get rid of things that don't work, they don't want to do the hard work of reforming government or disappointing the spending interest, so they say every stupid thing we've been doing for the last 40 years we'll keep doing, and we'll do a few new things, and we'll raise taxes to pay for them. Tax increases are what politicians do instead of governing. And this has been very helpful to the modern Republican Party. It's why they have a majority in the House. That's why 34 states have 24 states have Republican governors and Republican legislatures. And by branding itself as the party that would not raise taxes, it's like Coca-Cola. You go in, you can buy a Coke easily. Take it home with you. You know what's in there because they have quality control and it's branded. But if you got home and you were 2/3 through that bottle of Coke and you looked at it, and you realized there was a rat head in the bottle of the Coke, you wouldn't say to yourself, I'm thinking I may not finish all the rest of this bottle today. It would damage your decisions to buy Coke in the future. You go on TV and show the rat head to everybody on CNN and Fox, and Coke would have a problem because it damages the brand. Republican elected officials who vote for tax increases are rat heads in a Coke bottle. It's not a victimless crime. They damage the brand for everybody else. And that's why the Taxpayer Protection Pledge has been so helpful in allowing the Republican Party and the Reagan Republicans to say we're not going to raise your taxes. But our job is not to say no just in 2011. It's to say no again and again and again, because Obama and Reid and Pelosi and the spending interests and the tax increasers are like a teenage boy on a prom date. They keep asking for the same thing in different ways. And it doesn't do any good to say no to the tax increase requests and the requests for compromise tax increases and bipartisan tax increases once. You have to say no, 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 and mean it. And that's the next 25 years of beating the left. Thank you very much.